Morning everybody. So it's gone really cold. We've had a warm week. It's been really warm in the days and stuff, but it's gone quite cold this morning. Relatively cold, I should say, shouldn't I? And I don't think it's going to be warm again in the days like it has been, because the horses have been wearing, well, they had one day they took their rugs off. It was so warm because they were, and they obviously Chesney and Basil got trace clipped, and then one day they've worn their thin ones. But apart from that, really, it's been chilly and it's getting colder. So I've decided to have a rug organised today. These are Chesney's two thin rugs. He's got one with a neck cover and one without. Because when I went shopping for a spare for that one, they didn't have one without a neck cover, so he's got one with and one without, and then but Basil's got two thin ones. This one is so old, it's from a horse I had previous to Basil, so I only use it as a spare, but it is in one piece just about still, so it's good as a spare. So I'm going to pack these four away. They're both here. I just put some hay out that Basil didn't eat last night, because obviously it's steamed, so it's not really something I like to leave in the stables for, you know, more than one night. So I've put it in the field, and these two have come up to eat it. They're daft, aren't they? Tommy's around the corner, I can't really see him. So anyway, so they're there. So Chesney's got his next thickness up rug on today. That's this barrel, it does that when the temperature's changing. I jump more than the horses. Chesney actually nearly could do with a slightly thicker one on, so I might, although it is supposed to be getting warmer, the sun doesn't look very hopeful to break through the clouds yet today. We'll see. Basil's okay, but I'm going to sort their slightly thicker ones out to wear tomorrow, after I've put these away. So these are the ones I think they're going to wear tomorrow. Well, they are going to wear tomorrow. I might put them on after I've ridden Basil this morning. The one Basil's going off. The one Basil's wearing is a 200 gram, and that one he's had quite a long time, to be honest. It's an Amigo with a separate neck cover, but it's been patched a few times, but it's good enough. But I might put him tomorrow. This one, which is another Amigo, probably from a different year, I should think, but it's actually a bit thicker. This one's a 250 gram. Again, it's quite old. It's got a big patch on the other side, but I think I'll pop him up in that one next. And Chesney's got his he's only got his 100 gram on at the moment. But like I say, I think he's definitely needs something warmer. So this one is a 200 gram, so it's quite a lot thicker. This is his Lovesome one. He's again had a few years now. It's got a stupid little tail flap on though, this one, unfortunately, but it's got a nice neck cover, keeps him all snuggly. After that we start looking at really thick ones. I try and keep a note of how thick they all are, because they get muddy and dirty and you can't tell, and some of them don't actually have it on the rug, the thickness, but I do think that some of them aren't as warm when they get older. The lining gets squashed and stuff, and I'm sure it doesn't hold as much heat in, to be honest. Basil actually is lucky. He has quite a selection now. He's got, not necessarily for any particular reason that he's got lots of different weights, it's just that that's what's available when I go shopping. So he's got a 360 gram one, which is a black and silver one, you might remember from last year, but I'm not a huge fan of, because it's a bit tight around his shoulders, but it's supposed to be stretchy, so it's not supposed to matter, but I'm not sure about that. And then he's got a 400 gram red one, which was expensive because it had a better outer layer, which wasn't supposed to tear as easily, which has got a huge tear in it. and is so heavy when it's wet, it's horrible, and it's heavy all the time actually, so I certainly will never buy another one of them again. Probably probably worth it being heavy if it didn't tear. He's got a 220 gram one as well, which is another one that I sort of call his medium weight one, and then he's got a couple of really thick ones, but I don't really know how warm they are. It doesn't say on the labels or anything. Do you think it's useful if they all had them as grams, then you can compare them much more easily? You know, some of them still call them togs and other things. Oh, it does help having some sort of consistency. Anyway, so that's organised for them to wear tomorrow. Another job I've got to do this weekend is clean out the tack room, because that has got a bit of a mess. I've had some new hay this week, only a small load. This hay on this side they're not very keen on. I keep opening bales and they won't eat it, so I'm not sure what to do with that at the moment. I'm carrying on trying at the moment, but obviously I don't want them to not eat anything overnight. So this is all very nice looking new hay, so we'll see. Anyway, and we've got to finish having a tidy up. That is Basil's other rug. That's his 100 gram one. He's worn that a couple of times. It's the same as Tommy's, who we will probably have another practice with this weekend with his rug. But as I said, I need to have a sort out in the tack room. I have tidied up and put away the clippers because I want to say the blatant's off, but really I need to have a sort out. Basil, as you know, has been wearing his nice stripy rug, but tonight he's going to need my favourite one, his thick purple one, I think, with the fluffy collar. And it's just a bit of a mess in here really, and with winter and stuff, I'd just like to get it all organised. They had their it was a bit of a mess this week really. I'd organised the horse, the equine dental technician. They're not called horse dentists, so we keep wanting to call them that. Anyway, to come this week, and the vet to give them their annual vaccinations, and Chesney a bit of sedative for the equine dental technician. And actually Chesney was due another blood test for his PPID, Cushing's. Anyway, the dentist cancelled on the day, and I couldn't put the horses off because their vaccinations needed to be done by today, in fact, to keep them in. Not that they ever go to competitions or anything, but it would be silly to let them lapse, and then they would all have to start again. But so the vet still came, so I've still got to organise for them to have their teeth done. So it didn't quite go according to plan this week, but they've had the vaccinations. That's always good. I'm waffling, aren't I? I'm going to do the tack room tomorrow, so I will see you in the morning. Morning, everybody. So today, or this morning, I'm just going to tidy up in the tack room. The clocks changed last night, and I don't know how you guys manage it. I find if I leave the horses in for another hour in the morning, so I have an extra hour in bed, which is what obviously everyone else in the world does, mostly, is that the horses just make a huge mess in the stables. Certainly Basil. He just seems to get, knows I'm late, and so just walks around and stirs everything up and just makes a mess. So as far as I'm concerned, it's not worth having an extra hour in bed, because it takes me much longer to do the stables in the morning. So I do it half an hour one day and half an hour the next. So I had half an hour extra in bed last night, and then I'll have half an hour extra tomorrow. So they adjust to the morning. It usually takes a week or so to adjust in the morning, but really going forward now they are ready to come in the evenings, about 4, which would have been 5, but really they're not big fans of staying out later once the weather gets well, the dark night, it starts getting darker, and the weather gets worse and stuff. They want to come in earlier, and I'm at work, so they can't. So of course they're all desperate to come in, which is nice because they're by the gate and they're ready and eat. Much easier when they're like that, I suppose, aren't they, than to traipse around in the field. I've done that in the past. I used to have a horse. If something got her excited or something in the day, that was it. She'd just to run around in the field, and I'd arrive after work in the pitch dark, and spent ages trying to find her. Because Chesney's got his big white blaze down his front of his face, so you can often pick that out in the dark. She didn't have, she had a little white stripe, but she'd generally be so covered in mud. She was a terror. She was like a hippopotamus, so she was always covered in mud. And yeah, she just used to run around and bottom of the field, and she was difficult to catch at the best of times, to be honest. But yeah, in the dark at the end of the day, she was very frustrating. So Basil's never been like that. Basil is nearly always very good to catch. In fact, he's always very good to catch. He went through a phase of being quite tricky to lead up the field, but that didn't last very long, so he's much easier, as I say. It's also bonfire night coming up, so Halloween on Tuesday, I think, and then bonfire night actual next Sunday night. They've got fireworks going on in the next village on the Saturday night. I think that's the 4th. And they do tend to have those for the last few years, and they are mostly far enough away to not be an issue with the horses, really. As I say, they're quite a bit away. But we have got some new neighbours here. We've got one set that moved in a few weeks ago, and then some more that are coming on Thursday. So I need to go and meet them and say, if you're having any fireworks, can you let me know so that I'm here? Because they're quite close, so if they have lots of fireworks, I mean, they won't have huge numbers, obviously, well, I hope. And I haven't heard that the neighbour the other way, the one with the big fireworks, I haven't heard that he's having a display this year. They promised they would tell me, so fingers crossed that means they're not going to have one, because that's horrendous. Anyway, so yeah, I've got to go and talk to the other neighbours and just check that they will let me know, so I can be here to look after my boys. I also probably start on the I'm not sure whether to bother with the firework DVD or not this year. I probably will, to be honest, but my iPad docking station broke, so, and that's what I used to play it off. So I haven't got that anymore, so I might have to borrow an old portable CD player rather than my whole big stereo down, which I did one year so that I could play it really loud for the horses, and they were fine with that by the time I got it to full volume, but they were still frightened by the fireworks up the road. Anyway, so as I say, I'm mumbling like I did yesterday. I'm going to tidy up in here today. It's not too bad, to be honest. I just need to have a little bit of a tidy up. Apples from my tree. We're getting through them. I'm not sure they'll last till Christmas, but they might do. Horses absolutely love them. I did tidy up the clippers. Did I mention that yesterday? I think I did. I tidied them up, cleaned them up, took the blades off, and I'm going to send the blades off to be sharpened, and I haven't done that yet, to be honest. So just a few little bits of washing to do. Not a huge amount, just a bit of a tidy up. I have lots of extra towels now that I didn't used to have, and they won't all fit in my box. This is my towel box, if you remember. So that's not ideal. I don't know where to put them, so they're just piled there at the moment. And the tack probably needs a clean. That will probably be next weekend, I should think, when that gets cleaned. Now, I did do it last weekend, but I'm not feeling it today, to be honest. I know that's shocking behaviour, but I'm not feeling it. If you look at the yard out here, it's still a bit dark. It's getting light. This has happened overnight. It's quite windy again. I'm glad we had a nice hack out yesterday because we're not going to be, well, I'm not sure if we're going to be riding. It's really windy again. I might just lunge him today. Anyway, so that has happened to my beautiful clean yard from yesterday. Sometimes you wonder why you bother. Anyway, I'm going to have a quick tidy up in the tack room now. Here's the monsters today. Basil, as usual, he's got that thicker rug on today. The black one that I showed you yesterday, and then Chesney's got the thicker blue one as well on. He looks all snuggly in that. And Tommy, where's he? There he is. He's just hairy. Basil thinks it's time to go for a ride already. He might be disappointed today. And we've had a little bit of rain as well. Oh, we'll see. But he should be warm enough at the moment in that it's going to get colder today. And then warmer again. How do we know what's happening, Daisy? That's a problem. So, let's, I've got a couple of rugs hanging up, so I've just about done in here really. I've sorted out the washing and had a bit of a tidy up. So at the moment I've put that stripy rug away, although I think I'll have to get it out again, probably because it's going to go warmer. The thin one that Basil wears I've got just hanging up there, and I'm going to try and get some shavings off it. And it really could do with a wash. I've tidied up here, just put everything away that I'm not going to need, like the fly repellent and stuff now, and got Chesney's foot stuff all ready over here. I was going to start putting it on this weekend, but actually it's still really dry, so I'm not going to bother yet. I put the towels in that bin box there. I've had that box for a while. It hasn't had anything in it, so I thought I would use that for that. It's not as tidy, and of course it'll get dusty and get stuff in it, so it's not as good as having a box with a lid on. And I've just had a bit of a tidy up of the grooming kits and had a bit of a brush out of the brushes, if you know what I mean, and tidied up over here. Now they've had their tapeworm tests, which were all clear. And they've had their last worm egg counts obviously for the year as well, so that's all tidy now. I just want to weigh tape them, and I've been making a note on here at the moment, so I'm going to weigh tape them today, and then take that home and put it on my record. So October is nearly over. I like that picture. That's eastern Botswana, so it's not where I've been in Botswana, but it looks pretty beautiful. I don't know what's on November. Namibia, another Africa one. So it looks very sunny again. So I think I will put the weigh tape here, and then I might remember to do it later, because sometimes I forget. I'll put it on top of everything there. I can't forget. I'm not sure it'll stay this tidy for very long. You know what it's like, especially in the winter, when you're traipsing in and out with rugs and stuff. So, as you probably remember, I don't bring New Zealands in here. Luckily, because I've got lots of spaces, but only stable rugs come in here. I don't like to have the New Zealands or the turnout rugs, because then it's extra mud coming in here than it is anyway. Yeah, not much else exciting to tell you, I don't think, today really, so I am going to leave the video there, and I'll see you next weekend, which will be firework weekend, bonfire night weekend. Let's hope it all goes well before I see you. Take care, bye.